one of the weirdest symptoms that I had that I didn't understand. I understand it now, but at the time it was so scary. You could just imagine the catastrophizing thoughts that I had having this symptom. So just imagine, normally when you check your heart rate, your pulse, let's say you ran from here to that tree over there. I'll show you from that tree over there, right? Even like a light jog. If I even walk there, right? Or just, okay, I jog, let's say I'm jogging there, when I jog back, if I were to put my hand here, it would be like, right? That's normal. That's good. All right, good. But I remember I went through a phase where, I'm just hanging out. Right? I always knew because my heart beat because you feel it. You live your life. Sometimes you used to check your heartbeat once in the blue moon. Then I became obsessed with checking it. This is when I had health anxiety. This is when I started to get into my perfect storm. Then my perfect storm happened. Right? And this is where I had all my 70 symptoms. And for some reason, I could not feel my pulse. I remember I was checking, and I didn't realize it. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not normal. It's normal like, like you can almost see it going like this, right? You could like fucking almost feel it here, and you can feel the waves of the fuck, right? That was my normal, this is how I knew that something was off. I remember, I think I was watching TV or something, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I can't feel anything. What the fuck? Am I doing it wrong? I would Google how to check your pulse for blah, 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 blah. Then I was like, I check it here. I'm like, I know, fuck this. No, I know that if I check here, I can feel a pulse. I've been doing that for fucking all my life. I know. And it felt like it was in the next room. Very faint. Normally it's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. This time it was like, and I was like, whoa, I got to turn off the TV. Fucking turn off the TV. Because the TV felt like it was louder and interrupting, me being able to feel if I was getting a pulse or not. Now, that's craziness. Right? So I was like, okay. Holy fuck. What the fuck? 1,000 thoughts rushed to my brain. I'm in a state of fight or flight. I already have 70 symptoms. Right? And I'm panicking. I'm like, how the fuck am I alive? I have no pressure. I have no, right? And at the time, my blood pressure was up and down, right? Didn't make any sense. My heartbeats were all over the fucking place, right? I had to take a cardio for 3 months, and all of a sudden, it went the opposite way. Like nothing was constant. Everything was, your base heart rate, your resting heart rate is going to be at 110, right? When you're laying in bed, just going like this, 110. I was like that for 3 months. And then after that, it was, low. Or blood pressure, low, high, all over the fucking place. Didn't make any sense. My system was all over the place. It was going haywire. I'd be waking up in a cold sweat, having a panic attack, and I'd feel my pulse, and my heart would be like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, how does that make sense? Shouldn't it be going... No, it went boom, 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 boom. Right? I'm like, get with the program here, buddy. You're supposed to be waking out right now. So nothing made sense, but the scariest thing was that I could not feel a pulse. It was there, but you could barely, right? So of course, emergency room a bunch of times, and I tell them, I can't feel a pulse. They can't. They're like, well, obviously, your heart is fine. Look, it's beating. Okay? This is not an emergency, sir. Okay, so you're fine. Your oxygen levels are good, right? But my heart rate, look at my heart rate's usually up higher. Like you saw it last time. You don't remember. I don't. Check the files. This is not an emergency. Make an appointment with your doctor. Okay, my oxygen looks good. Okay, everything looks good, but look, feel my pulse. You can barely feel it. Look, feel it. Sir, that's normal. Some people have, that's not, you're going to have to make an appointment with a doctor. right? And this is not an emergency. Otherwise, we're going to send you home. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Maybe I have a blockage. Maybe I have a blockage. Shouldn't you guys? We checked your heart. Everything is fine. Sir. No, nothing's fine. This is not normal. So, you'd be at home. Okay. Googling. Don't ever Google, obviously. Google, fucking, you name it. XYZ was there, ruminating, catastrophizing. I don't understand what the fuck is going on. And eventually, I was fixated on another symptom, and I didn't care anymore about that symptom. It had its party that day. Freaked me the fuck out. Of course, my baseline's going up, my bucket's getting fuller, and my alarms are ringing off the hook. But now that I look back, I'm starting to understand. Like, I had all kinds of symptoms that I haven't even talked about yet, and I'll get to there, right? I had, for example, I can't help myself. I remember I'd be hanging out, and I'd look at my fingers, and they'd be all pruny. I'm like, I wasn't in the water. What the fuck is going on? Right? It's the weird symptoms that drive you fucking mental. And then now that I think about it, right? Just like when people have POTS, right? I think I had a little bit of a brush with POTS, right? I'm starting to realize that looking back, you get the clarity. So to kind of make sense of what's going on, why I couldn't feel a heartbeat, right? Why I had bad circulation. There was nothing wrong with my heart or arteries or anything like that. What happens is your brain is protecting the vital organs because it's in a state of fight or flight. You're in a survival state. So it's going to utilize only what's important. It doesn't care about digesting that burrito or detoxing properly. It's there to keep you alive, right? It's going to, it's going to do its job, but not very good because its priority is to keep you alive. So it keeps all that blood for important functions, right? Like your heart and certain organs, right? All the things that keep you alive that are important to keep you out of a state of fight or flight. It's like a little protective mechanism, right? It sends blood to the important areas of your body, right? To keep you alive. All the other areas, not so important, right? It's got priorities. So what I noticed is when I started to regulate, I started to, through my journey of recovery, I made sure to stop checking my pulse. Because I did that 1,000 fucking times. To the point where you got fucking, you can almost see your fucking finger marks on there. And I stopped checking for my blood pressure. I stopped checking my temperature. All these things you have to just stop. Because they drive up your baseline. They fill your bucket up. And what it does, it just fuels the cycle. Right? When that happens, you get more alarms and symptoms stay. And you're telling the brain that you're in danger, that you're sick. So it plays that program. So I had to stop checking my pulse, stop checking my temperature, stop checking my blood pressure all the fucking time. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get some chicken. Oh, we're by the pharmacy. I might as well check my blood pressure for an hour and a half until I find the number that I'm okay with. Right? So stop doing that. Just stop. Stay on the program, the alarm system reset. Keep going. Eventually, everything will regulate. Trust me, it will regulate. And then when you're recovered, you're going to check your heart rate. It's going to be like...